You mean like personally or just
Artistically
creatively?
too.
Yeah, you know.
Because you're now.
Well, yes and no. There's always that thing. You invested all this time. You develop these relationships. You're interested in the subject. You have all this body of footage or material, and you know it's always tempting to think, well, you know, I could shoot more, and then it would just kind of be richer or bigger, or you know. But you do reach a point where you go through the process of. I mean, finishing a film is, I think, it's a documentary. But for any film, but especially a documentary, it's kind of a long, that itself is kind of a long wind down. You know, where you kind of like say, okay, this is what our film is probably going to encompass. Then you think about structuring it with that in mind, and then you try to finish the film with that shape in mind.
Yep.
And so, you know, you kind of go through that whole process, and by the time you get to the end of, you know, doing the color correct and the mix and everything, you are kind of a little bit done with that.
Yeah, some distance.
Yeah, and then I mean, obviously it's been a while since you've filmed. I mean, the last interviews I did with him were, you know, we did some interviews last summer, I guess, were the most recent interviews I did with him, kind of wrap-up interviews, but, so it's still it was fairly recent, but, you know, you kind of, I mean, I'm very clear that film is what it is, and I wouldn't really want to go back and add to it now. You know, for one thing, once you start structuring a film, you know, there's always this problem of, you know, how you can't have too many endings. You know, and things kind of present themselves as endings in the movie as you're making the movie, and then it's like, why tack on another thing, you know?
Yes.